Your iPhone might be one of the most personal devices that you own. But, I mean, when you set it up, it looks like everyone else's iPhone. You have the same basic lock screen, same basic home screen, same app icons, and probably the same default wallpaper that millions of others are using. But over the last few years, the iPhone has gotten way more customizable, and now you can make it feel like your very own device. And I don't mean just making it look cool, even though that's definitely part of it. I mean, really customizing it to make it work for your lifestyle. You can customize your wallpapers, your lock screen, your widgets, App Store icons and sounds, and even what your iPhone looks like when it's sitting on a charging stand. We're going to go through the main ways to personalize your iPhone and make it feel like it was set up just for you. The easiest place to start is wallpapers, because your wallpaper sets the whole vibe for your iPhone. This is the first thing you see whenever you pick up your iPhone, and it's sitting behind almost everything you do on the home screen and the lock screen. To change your wallpaper, go to the Settings app, scroll down to Wallpaper, and from there, you can customize your current wallpaper or add a brand new one. You can choose a photo from your camera roll, use one of Apple's built-in wallpapers, you can choose a color, use an emoji wallpaper, or choose something more dynamic, like weather and astronomy. But here's the biggest mistake when people make wallpapers. They pick a photo that looks really good by itself, but not actually one that looks good when there's a clock right above it. Right? I mean, the picture might look amazing in the Photos app, but then when you're on your lock screen, there's just a big clock right in front of someone's face or something like that. So I would think when you pick a lock screen, make sure there's a little bit of empty space on the top. That way you can easily read the time and notifications and widgets, things like that. If you're using a family photo, a picture of a kid, dog, car, something like that, try to pick a picture that the subject is on the lower half of your iPhone. I promise it'll make it look better. This way your wallpaper will still feel really personal, but your iPhone looks clean and you can read everything that you need to read. And for your home screen, I'd probably suggest something even more simple because, well, there's apps covering everything, and if there's a lot going on in the background, it's hard to read the apps. A busy wallpaper behind a bunch of apps will just make everything feel cluttered and claustrophobic. One of the easiest ways to make your home screen look cleaner is to use the same wallpaper as your lock screen, but blur it out. And your iPhone probably will do it automatically. This way, everything will still match, but the apps are a lot easier to see. Now, once you have a wallpaper you like, the next big thing is to customize your lock screen. The lock screen used to be really basic, but now it's almost like it's its own dashboard. To customize it, lock your iPhone. Then, press and hold on the lock screen and tap Customize. In here, you could also tap the plus button to restart and make a whole new wallpaper. The first thing to customize is the clock, and this changes the look of your lock screen more than you might expect. If you tap on the clock, you can change the font, change the thickness, and change the color so it fits your wallpaper better. This is probably one of those things that sounds small, but the clock color matches your wallpaper, the whole lock screen looks instantly more polished. After that, you can add lock screen widgets. These are meant to give you quick information without needing to unlock your iPhone. For example, you could add the weather widget so you can instantly see the temperature or the forecast. Or you could add the calendar widget. That way you could see your next appointment before you even open up the calendar app. Or of course your battery widget. That way you could quickly check your Apple Watch, AirPods, or other connected accessories. There's all sorts of widgets, like widgets for reminders, fitness, alarms, stocks, smart home controls, and other apps that you use all the time. But I wouldn't go crazy, because I feel like the lock screen should say as simple as possible. The goal isn't to make your lock screen some big clutter thing with a bunch of different controls. Maybe it's something that you have 2 or 3 widgets on that'll tell you temperature and battery percentage. One thing that I think a lot of people don't even know, you can make different lock screens for different parts of your life. You could have a lock screen for everyday use, then one for work, and then one for the gym. And then you can set them to focus modes, which we'll talk about later, so they automatically change for you. This is where your iPhone starts to feel way more personal because it adapts to what you're doing throughout the day instead of just staying the same home screen that everybody in the world has. It'll be your home screen based on what you're doing that time. For example, during work, you might want just a basic home screen that'll show your calendar events and your reminders. But then at the gym, you might want a darker home screen that has your fitness rings, your music, and a battery widget. And then at night, you'll want to wind down, so you want something dark, super minimal with no distractions, and just really basic. Later in this video, when we talk about focus modes, you'll see that this becomes super powerful and just really cool. Because you can actually connect certain lock screens to certain focus modes, so your iPhone can automatically change based on what you're doing. That means your iPhone can look different when you're working, sleeping, driving, and that's just kind of the customization that makes your iPhone go beyond just looking cool and actually more useful and practical. It changes exactly how your iPhone fits into your life. Now let's go from the lock screen to the home screen, because this is where widgets become even more useful. Widgets are one of the best ways to make your iPhone more useful without even opening an app. Instead of your home screen just being a giant wall of app icons, widgets lets you see useful information the second you unlock your iPhone. For example, you can add a weather widget that can show you the current temperature, the highs and lows for the day, or whether or not it's going to rain that day. And the calendar widget can show you your next appointment, so you don't even have to open up the calendar to see what's going on throughout the day. And a reminders widget obviously could show you your reminders and what you're hoping to get done that day. And if you have smart home accessories, you can have widgets or control that make it easier to control lights, thermostats, or different scenes. The point is, you can add tons of different widgets to your home screen, and they just make life easier and easier to glance at your phone and see what's going on throughout the day. If a widget looks cool but you don't ever use it, it's probably taking up space, and you can probably just get it off your home screen. To add a widget, press and hold on the empty area of your home screen until everything starts to jiggle. Tap the plus button or the edit option. Choose the app you want, pick the widget size, and place it where it makes the most sense. Most widgets give you different sizes, and each size will give you different amounts of information. A small widget is great if you just want a quick piece of information. Then of course, larger widgets will give you a lot of information, but of course take up a lot of your home screen real estate. And if you add too many widgets on your home screen, it's going to become just as messy as a bunch of apps on your home screen. So try not to get too overwhelmed. If you like widgets but don't want them taking up your entire home screen, then Smart Stack's probably the best option. A Smart Stack is basically a bunch of widgets on one widget space. So instead of having a weather widget over here, a calendar widget over here, and a battery widget down here, all taking up separate areas, you can stack them all together in one area and then swipe through them really easily. For example, in the morning, your iPhone might show your calendar because you're starting the day. Or later, it might show you the weather because it knows you always leave the house around this time. And if you have AirPods in, it might automatically flip to your battery widget to show you exactly what percentage your AirPods are at. This is a great way to keep your home screen clean while giving you tons of information from widgets. Now let's talk about app icons, because this is where people either make their iPhone look amazing or completely impossible to use. Apple now gives you a lot more control over how your app icons and widgets look, including different appearance styles, dark icons, tinted icons, and larger app icons. To change this, press and hold on the home screen, tap Edit, and tap Customize. From here, you can change the overall look of your apps and widgets so they match your wallpaper or your personal style better. For example, if you like a clean, dark setup, you might use dark icons with a darker wallpaper. Or if you want something more colorful, you could use the tinted icons to match your wallpaper. And if you want your home screen to feel a little more simple, you can make your app icons larger, which can also remove some of the visual clutter. But here's my warning to customizing icons like this. You don't want to make your iPhone so aesthetic that it becomes hard to use. Your brain kind of recognizes apps by their colors and shapes. So if every icon becomes the exact same color, your home screen might look cool, but it's harder to find your apps later. I don't know if a setup that looks cool but slows you way down is actually a better setup. You have to find a good middle ground, right? The best iPhone setup would be the one that looks really cool, but it's still super easy to use and you can get to everything super quickly. Another underrated part of personalizing your iPhone is deciding which apps can actually be on your home screen or not. Most people just let apps pile up wherever they're downloaded, and after a while, your home screen becomes a mess with 6 different screens and apps everywhere, and I don't know how people do that. It's so confusing. Right, your first home screen should be treated like prime real estate, where only the apps that you're gonna use all the time land on that home screen. And that dock on the bottom is even more important, because that goes everywhere. Wherever you are on the home screen, those apps will be there. In my opinion, I use one home screen that I change based on which focus mode, which again we'll talk about later. But that one home screen is my only home screen for that activity. Then all the rest I keep in the app library. With the app library and Spotlight search, you can hide apps from the home screen and still open them wherever you need them. So if you have apps that you still need to keep, but you're not going to be using every day, I would throw them into the app library and then you can just search for them in Spotlight. It doesn't delete the app. The app's still there in the app library. It's just not as much clutter and it's more hidden away. But personalizing your iPhone isn't all about wallpapers and widgets. It's also about making the iPhone comfortable to look at and easy to use. So one of the most important places to go is settings, then display and brightness. This is where you can switch between light mode and dark mode on your iPhone. Light mode can be nice during the day, especially when you're outside or in a bright room. But night mode can feel better at night when you're trying to go to bed or anytime you want your iPhone to feel a lot less intense. What I do is turn on automatic, so my iPhone switches between light mode and dark mode depending on the time of day. This is one of those things that I think a lot of people should use, because it makes your iPhone feel a lot better without even having to think about it. This is also where you can adjust all sorts of things like brightness, true tone, display size, and display zoom. True tone will change the color temperature of your display based on the lighting around you, so it'll look a lot more natural. Night shift makes the iPhone screen look a lot warmer at night, which can be easier on your eyes when you're looking at your phone in the dark. Text size lets you make the text bigger or smaller depending on what feels more comfortable. And display zoom can make buttons, icons, and text feel larger if everything feels a little too small. Next way to personalize your iPhone is by changing the way it sounds and feels. Go to settings, then sounds and haptics. This is where you can change your ringtone, text size, alert sounds, keyboard feedback, all sorts of different sounds. If your iPhone has an action button, this is one of the best ways to personalize your iPhone. The action button replaced the old mute switch on newer iPhone models. To customize it, go to settings, then hit action button. And from here you can choose what you want the button to do when you press and hold it. You can use it for silent mode, focus, camera, flashlight, accessibility features, or shortcuts. If you're a basic user, camera or flashlight might be a more useful option. Doing something like being able to instantly open up the flashlight would be great for me, I think. When you're walking in the dark and you just want to hold down the button and it instantly turns on the flashlight, that's perfect.